And I'm just going to shift gears to women, women pastoralists. How have they been affected directly? Because the issues of men and women and the community in general, I think in the pastoralist community is a bit different. I'm not a pastoralist myself, but based on my working experience, I've realized that there's a bit of the way women are treated, the way they're affected by different issues is quite different. And of course, we always say climate change is sexist, so it affects or it hits hard on women more than men. So are there any issues or are there any climate change effects that affect the women more than the men, and how do they cope, or how are they coping right now? So I can go with you, Pius, for a start.
When it comes about climate change and women, in Karamoja in particular, it's more about roles, gender roles, shifting of gender roles. Initially, men used to help women in fetching water, for example, going out there, fetch water for the household. But of recent, things have changed. Why? Men have moved out for long distances. Now, if the animals have gone out for mobility to access pasture and water, meaning that the responsibilities that the man used to hold have shifted to a woman. One of them is taking care of children when the man is far away in the rangelands, caring for animals out there. The second one is that they're taking care of the health of the whole household, the food security of the household. This is now the role that the woman has to do, meaning that things have shifted. There is nothing like, again, working as a family like before. Well, because they understand the climate change and due to the indigenous knowledge, what they have done is that during the time of, of drought, for example, the pastoralists themselves identify the specific animals, like lactating animals, that should stay in the family when the rest of the herd has gone for mobility to far distances. Then secondly, again, how the climate has affected women is about water resources. For example, women have to move long distances in Karamoja to access water. So drying off of available water sources means that new long distances have to be moved. And again, the third one is that the loss of fruits, for example, wild fruits. The family used to have wild fruits or some small garden where they harvest food, but now because of that, they can no longer produce food, so the women have to move again to far distances to go and gather fruits, vegetables, etc. Then on the other hand again, loss of livestock to drought means that forced marriages are the next encounters. For example, if your animals are raided, because I am a man, we have animals as an household, so they have been raided, what will happen is that we force our daughter to be married so that we can have animals reinstated back through marriage. So forced marriage is one of the things affecting pastoral women and girls.
You talked about pastoralist women having a problem or a challenge owning land. So it means there's an issue of land rights in your community.
Yes.
So my question is, has climate change intensified their, has it intensified that problem? I don't know if you understand my point.
Yes, please. One of the factors that has intensified the issue of land rights is land use. Intensification of land use among pastoralists is forcing more women to lose land because as pastoralists to lose rangelands to public projects, for example, mineral exploration and conservation, it means that more land that would have been given to women in agropastoral area, for example, is going to be used for herding of animals to produce or for a reserve for pasture. then meaning that the woman will have to lose some part of that land and then devote it back for livestock production. So intensification of land use in other projects lead women to lose their land rights.
About alternative livelihood that women have to resort to so that they can feed their families. Classic example of the ladies in Turkana, they are now burning charcoal to have a livelihood. So as a result of climate change, because cow belongs to the husband, sheep and goats belong to the husband. Maybe what belongs to a woman in the personal setup is maybe chicken, and how much is a chicken can cost. So most women have resorted to other alternative livelihoods like charcoal burning. Others are now doing weaving. Others are trying to open kiosks. They have moved to markets to open kiosks and go to market days to sell beads to sustain their families. So you see, most of these women, they take long walking to the market and coming back in the evening, also taking so long fetching water. So it has really complicated their lifestyle and their way of living. Women are really affected by the climate change issues, especially in a situation where there is a disruption of livelihood, where husbands have to move. We have seen a situation where Kenyans pastoralists have to move to Tanzania to graze the animals. They have to move to Ethiopia. They have to move to East Africa to graze the animals and come back after some months. So you see a lot of women are stressed because they are left behind to take care of their children. Also, when the issue of alternative livelihood, you see among the pastoral women, milk belongs to their wife. So if there is no milk production in the family, what will they use? So we see cases of malnutrition among the children in those pastoral areas because they depend on milk. When there is no milk, they suffer most malnutrition cases.
So it looks like climate change does not just affect directly. It's like it snowballs. I think most of our communities, not just the pastoralist communities, even the communities living close to the pastoralists, like the Tugen community where I come from, where most of the women are the herbalists. We are deforesting, there is no rain, so it's like we are losing most of our plants, the indigenous plants that are a source of herb.
Yes, we do, because I know of a lady in Baringo who is a specialist in cancer treatment. So, and you know, with a lot of deforestation and a lot of climate change effects, we are losing our indigenous trees. So there is a need to, I don't know, maybe we can start now planting or start looking for those indigenous apple trees so that to plant, because I know that's a livelihood we are losing, because those women, they get a revenue out of the apple treatment they're doing. So it's a thing that we need to really venture on, especially when with the climate change actions, planting trees and planting those indigenous apple trees.
Okay, Pius, do you have something
to
add on that?
There's a question for me. I can see there's somebody.
Yes, we will go to questions. We have several questions. So let's go to Pius first, then we'll go to questions.
Okay, thank you. Kibi, you have been asking about indigenous trees and so on. Of course, yes, climate change is one of the things that is intensifying loss of most of the forest cover in pastoral lands. For example, as I said, intensification of land use. When I lose livestock, I have to resort to certain alternative livelihoods. And what's that alternative livelihood? One of them is going for charcoal production, firewood production, quarrying, and these activities are mostly done by women. Why? Their men are not there. Some of them have become widows to conflicts because their men have died from the bushes when they have gone out to raid, forced to look for alternative ways if the man has been a sole producer or provider of the family. So in most cases, climate change has had a very huge impact on women than even the men, because the women are the sole providers of the household.